Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 890, we're going to talk about Kura, the Boundless Sky. Now, this is a 5-mana 4/4 Dragon Spirit from Neon Dynasty. Kind of a throwback to the original Dragon Spirit cycle in original Kamigawa. So 4/4 Flying Death Touch. When Kura dies, this time we get to choose one of two things. We get to search our library for 3 lands, put them in your hand, or make an XX Spirit where X is the number of lands we control. So, any way you want to go, this deck wants lands. So, it being mono green is kind of the easiest way to get lands. So, let's look at our ramp first, shall we? We will go through our land search first. Nature's Lore. Well, that Nature's Lore has seen better days. That's for sure. Secure Tribe Elder, Rampant Growth, Untamed Wilds, Search for Tomorrow. There's a bunch of them. Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Ranger's Path, Harrow, all the way up to Nissa's Renewal. Yeah, because the deck just won't... And also, you get the added benefit of you're going to cast your commander. We have a dies trigger on our commander, which means, it's not all downside when our commander dies, but we will want to recast it. So having those extra lands, it helps in many different ways. But I want to look at Root Weaver Druid, because I don't think I've covered this one yet. I like this. When Root Weaver Druid enters the battlefield, each opponent may search their library for up to 3 basic land cards. They put one of those cards on the battlefield tapped under your control, and the rest on the battlefield tapped under their control. Now, this is a May ability, but if you're offering them 2 free lands, I'm betting they will give you the one. So, yeah. Then our other ramp, Ronus' Monument, Soul Ring, Llanowar Elf. Now, the Grafted Growth, I kind of like this because we have a flying Death Touching commander, so we kind of want it to be big. So, the Grafted Growth here, it ramps us, and it puts a 1/1 counter on our commander. And I've got Crop Rotation. It hit that category. It doesn't really plus your mana, but it will go get our only non-basic land in the deck, which is Rogue's Passage, to make sure our commander is not blocked. Commune with Spirits, some card selection, Rites of Flourishing, and Court of Bounty, hoping that we can, of course, keep the Monarch. Now, I have some oddball stuff in here. We're playing with a lot of forest and a lot of land fetching, so Howl the Night Pack just seemed like a good fit. Stormfront. Since we are playing with a flying commander, the ability to tap opposing blockers is kind of good. So, tap target creature with flying. The Dragon Kami Reborn. I kind of felt like I had to put this in there. Revive, green card, Tamio Safekeeping, to make it where it's not just dead. That instant speed, save my guy. Gas Blessing, and of course a good old-fashioned Fog. We don't have a whole lot of creatures. We will, because the idea is win with that commander, either by attacking with it or by the abilities that it provides. So, the Sky Shroud Ranger, this is like one of the best turn 1 plays, you can just double drop lands. Oran Viper, helping you draw some cards. Famerif Archers to shoot down more flyers. Arashi. Now, this is 2 each flyer, so we got to make sure our commander's not out if we don't want it to die. Now, there are times we want our commander to die, and this is exactly what we want to do to channel this thing. Aggressive Mammoth. There's nothing sweeter than trample and death touch. The way that rules interaction work is beautiful. Thorn elemental, because sometimes you just gotta deal the damage. And then one of my personal favorites, the killer bees. I love killer bees. This is outstanding. But let's look at ways to pump up those creatures, shall we? Now, we've got stuff like the Ring of Colonia, albeit it's slow, but it does grant trample. So we want this definitely on our commander. Locks it on Warhammer is going to give it trample. So will the Haunted Cloak, Overrun, Prodigious Growth. Boy, that's a monster right there, isn't it? Stratascythe, it's an artifact version of our Blanchwood armor. The Boon of Beseju, where X is the greatest mana value among permanents you control. Our commander costs 5, so it's at least going to be 5, right? Primal Might, +X, and then fights up to 1 target. So this is removal and pump. And then the Rin's Run Hydra, mainly in here for the mass dump of 1/1 counters on our commander. But in a pinch, it's a really big reacher. So now we have a hefty amount of removal. Lots. We have Crumble, 1 mana artifact destruction. It's pretty good. Tribute of the Wild, Return to Nature, Rabid Bite, Plummet. I know Plummet looks kind of weird, but when you really don't want other people to have flyers, Plummet. I almost did the Hurricane route, to be honest with you, but I didn't. Naturalize, Vow of Wildness, because if it's not my problem, it's not a problem. Beast Within, Rex Sage, Creeping Mold. Now, Ruinous Intrusion is a new one. I like it. You get to exile a artifact or enchantment. As many enchantment decks as are popping up, and the ability to exile it, that's great. And then you get 1/1 counters. Wow. Larry's Disc, Everyone's Disc is an amazing card. Acidic Slime. Yes, that's a Desert Twister. 6 mana is not that much in mono green when you're just constantly ramping. Spinning Wheel Kick. I had to read this one a couple of times just to get it right. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each of up to X target creatures and or walkers. You don't divide it. Like if we've got our 4 power commander, we just get to deal 4 damage X times. Okay. And then lastly, Terastodon. Terastodon, a big, beefy boy. So that is Kura. That was about the only way I knew to is have it lands matter, but I didn't want it to be just another landfall deck. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's 890. That's going to finish us out a row, isn't it? Let's see. There we go. So we're going to go put 890 on the wall and start our next row next time. By the way, I do want to thank y'all so much. I want to welcome all the new viewers from the UK and everywhere else. We've gone through a growth surge here in the past week, and 2 weeks. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It makes it a lot better knowing that I'm not just shouting out into the void. There's a bunch of y'all. I never would have dreamed that people would want to hear all this, but here we are. Anyway, thank you very much. And right now we're going to go ahead and shuffle and cut.